Good morning students. Today we are going to discuss on the topic that is occupational diseases. So there are several type of occupational diseases. That is, this topic is from paper 4, industrial hygiene and chemical safety. So there is no internationally accepted definition for the term occupational diseases. However, occupational diseases are usually defined as the diseases arising out or in the course of employment. So you can say that certain diseases which arises out of or which certain diseases which arise in course of the employment. In course of employment. So these are certain diseases which arises in course of the employment, and we can say that they may be grouped under various type diseases due to the physical agents. So the diseases may be due to the physical agents, diseases due to the chemical agents, diseases due to the biological agents, occupational cancer, occupational dermatitis means certain related to the skin disorders, diseases of the psychological origin, etc. So these are the different occupational diseases which can be inherited or which can be arise due to the employment. So now coming up to the first diseases, that is pneumoconiosis. So dust within the size range 0.5 to 3 microns is a health hazard produced after a variable period of exposure to a lungs. So we have already discussed about the pneumoconiosis. So it is related to the lung disorders. Or next we are coming up to the silicosis. Okay. So silicosis, it is caused by inhalation of dust containing free silica or silicon dioxide, or you can say that SiO2. So due to the inhalation of this dust, that is silicon dioxide, there is a rise of a disease like silicosis, and it occurs its occurrence has been seen in mining industry. So the employers who are working in the mining industry, they used to come across these diseases. This mining industry may be coal industry, mining industry, mica mining industry, gold, silver, lead, zinc and manganese mining industries. So the employers who are working in this mining industry, they come across with this type of diseases. Or certain ceramic or pottery industries, even the sand blasting, या फिर metal grinding, building, or you can say that construction work related diseases are always associated with the silicosis. So certain precautions should be taken, because the particles which are ingested by the phagocytosis, which accumulates and blocks the lymph channel. So it blocks the lymph channel. So incidence depends upon the, so if a people or a person is coming in contact with the silicon dust continuously, so there may be incidence which depends upon the chemical composition of the dust size. So what is the composition of the dust size? What is the particles of the size? So size, particles, and the duration of exposures are the individual susceptibility. So if a person is coming in contact with this dust, what is the size of the dust, what is the composition of the dust, and what is the duration of exposure, which will show you the symptoms of these diseases. It is said that the higher the concentration of free silica in the dust, the greater will be the hazard. And normally it has been seen that the particle size 0.5 to 0.3 or 0.5 to 3 microns are the most dangerous because they reach the interior of lungs with an ease. And the longer the duration of, jitna ज़्यादा longer duration of exposure होगा, the greater will be the risk of developing the silicosis. And it is found that the incubation period may vary from to few months to 6 years of exposure. So if a person is subjected to few months, 6 months, 8 months, or to the 6 year, according to the susceptibility of a particular individual, they may cause the silicosis. So there is no effective treatment for the silicosis, but we can take certain measurements, and the measurement may be the rigorous dust control measures. So if the dust is liberating, that should be controlled. Next is that you can say that good housekeeping is very important, and very important, that is personal protective equipments. The use of the PPE should be utilized in this way. Measures should be taken, and regular physical examination of the workers should be done. So these are the few points which is to be implemented in every type of the occupational diseases. First is that one must make use of the PPE, that is personal protective equipment. Second thing is that there should be a regular physical examination of the workers. Regular physical examination of the workers. These are the 2 points which is to be added in every type of the, what we are going to type of study the different type of occupational diseases. We are going to add this as a preventive or precautions for the different type of diseases. Next is the bagassosis. So occupational diseases of the lung caused by the inhalation of the bagassosis or the sugarcane dust. So what is bagassosis? Bagassosis is nothing but the sugarcane dust. So dust of the sugarcane, that is said to be the bagassosis. And when these dust, which are very small in size, when they are inhaled continuously, then they causes the bagassosis. So it is utilized in the manufacture of paper, cardboard and the rayon. So it is one of the waste from the sugar industry which is utilized again for the manufacture of the paper or cardboard or the rayon. So symptoms consisting of the breathlessness, means here you can find out the people who are suffering from the bagassosis, they used to come or you can say that they feel like breathlessness, they cannot respire as normally, and they cough like symptoms can be seen, and slight fevers. These are the certain symptoms of the bagassosis. And impairment of the pulmonary functions, here the lungs doesn't function normally, so you can say that there is an impairment of the pulmonary function. And if it is treated early, there is a resolution of acute inflammation conditions of the lung. So if this disease is treated early, then the inflammation can be reduced, but if it is treated at the later stage, then it cannot be maintained or retained, or this you can say that if it is untreated, it causes diffuse fibrosis or emphysema. Means here you can say that the lungs, they used to deform and it cannot be retained. So one, the organ is deformed, that can be retained, or damaged, it cannot be retained. And so you can say that this is a very all this type of disease is normally caused by the inhalation at the workplace. And here again we can say that what is the protective preventive measures? The preventive measures for the prevention and suppression of the dust, such as the wet process. What we can do is that we can prevent or suppress the dust by means of the wet process through हमें जाना चाहिए, so that the most amount of dust would not be liberated from the industry. Next is that certain enclosed apparatus या exhaust ventilation होना चाहिए to be used at the site. There will be the use of the personal protective equipments, where we must the person who is working at that place, or certain bagassosis related industries, they must wear the mask or certain respirators with the mechanical filters, or they may provide the oxygen related. Without that they should not work. Next is medical control. Periodic medical checkup of the worker are indicated, so that one can a worker can be after the medical checkup they will come to know, diagnose the diseases and the stages of the diseases, and then can be, you can say that they can be treated. Next is the bagassosis control. By keeping a moisture content, how we can control the bagassosis? By means of keeping the moisture content to 20% and spraying the bagassosis with 2% of the propanoic acid. So by this we can control the bagassosis, or we can settle the dust of the bagassosis. Next is the asbestosis. So it is a commercial name given to the certain type of, this is certain type of fibrous material. So asbestosis is nothing but the fibrous material. It is type of a fibrous material, and they are silica of various composition. Bagassosis is nothing but it is the fibrous material of the silica, and normally it is said that asbestosis is of two types, that is serpentine and the amphibole type. So what is the main difference between the serpentine and amphibole type? That is 90% of the serpentine variety, which is hydrated magnesium silicates. So what we used to hear by the name, we used to say that asbestosis or asbestos is nothing but the 90% of जो variety हम यूज देखते हैं, that is nothing but the serpentine variety होता है, which is consisting of the hydrated magnesium silicate. So asbestos के material जो होते हैं वो hydrated magnesium silicate से तैयार होते हैं, and this is nothing but these are the various composition of fibrous material like silica. And amphibole type में जो होता है, it is consisting of little of magnesium, वहाँ पे खूब कम amount of magnesium से तैयार हुआ होता है. And asbestos fibers are usually 200 to 500 microns in length and 0.5 to 50 microns in diameter. So you can find out here the size is very small, and because of this magnesium silicates, they can be inhaled through the lungs, or it can. So why this asbestos is important, or where they are used? So it is used in the manufacture of asbestos cement. asbestos cement के manufacture में इसका use किया जाता है. किसका? एस्बेस्टोस का. एंड फायर प्रूफिंग टेक्सटाइल्स में, रूफ टाइलिंग में, ब्रेक लाइनिंग में, या फिर गैस्केट में. सो वेयर दिस एस्बेस्टोस इज यूजेस इन दिस टाइप ऑफ इंडस्ट्रीज like manufacturer asbestos cement manufacturing industries, fireproof tiles textiles industries, roof tiling industries मध्ये. And normally these peoples, they used to come in contact with this asbestos is where there is a mining. So mined in Andhra Pradesh, Bihar and Karnataka and Rajasthan, the people who are mining present at the mining site, they used to come in contact with this asbestos, and this fine dust may be deposited on the alveoli. So it is because of its very small size. So we have already seen the size. The size is normally 0.5 to 50 microns in normal diameter and length is 20 to 500 microns. So because of its small size they can be easily inhaled and this find is deposited in the alveoli. हमारे lungs के alveoli region में जाकर के वो deposit हो जाता है and the fibers are insoluble. Because they are insoluble they remain settle over the alveoli and cause the pulmonary fibrosis. Again, any type of inhalation related diseases they comes across with the disease name pulmonary fibrosis, where the lung cell get converted into or you can say that lung cells doesn't contract or expand frequently as a normal person, but they become thicken and stiffen and so the breathing cannot be possible or make the people breathlessness. So it causes pulmonary fibrosis leading to the respiratory insufficiency and sometimes death also. And its exposure duration is from 5 to 10 years of exposure. So if a person is subjected or exposed to 5 to 10 years of exposure, they normally causes the asbestosis. Next, what are the preventive measures? In case of the asbestosis, the preventive measure is one must use the safe type of asbestos. So we have already seen two types of the asbestos, normally the serpentine and the amphibole type. So serpentine variety is normally it is consisting of 90% of magnesium silicate, and amphibole type, because it is very expensive, it is consisting of little amount of magnesium. So one used to suggest that one must use the amphibole type of the asbestos. Next is substitution of the other insulants. So in case of insulants means these are the material which does not allow the heat to pass through them. So if possible one may use rather than the asbestos. That will be the best thing. Next is the glass fiber, mineral wool, calcium silicate, plastic foam, etc. So where that this asbestos are utilized there, in case of utilizing this asbestos, one must use the another substituents as an insulant. And the last thing is very important thing, use of the PPE. That is where there is possible one must use the PPE, personal protective equipment, in order to avoid the certain diseases. And next is a periodic examination of the worker. So in all this type of diseases, occupational diseases, we have seen just now, that is pneumoconiosis, PNE this diseases. Next is silicosis. Next is asbestosis. So in all these diseases what we have seen is that periodic examination is worker is very important. Its duration you must know it. It is normally from 5 to 10 years. Sometimes it takes 6 years also. So and very important is what is a preventive measure is to use the personal protective equipments in order to avoid the lung diseases. Thank you. See you on Monday.